Welcome. Today we're delving into a remarkable health and life transformation. I'd like to introduce you to Simon, who's joining us from Sweden, who really decided to take a different path from the normal diets and supplements and really embrace the power of the mind-body connection.
Welcome, Simon. It's really great to have you here.
Thank you. It's really great to be here.
Simon, could you tell the viewers what it was like for you 6 months ago and what you were dealing with?
6 months ago, life looked pretty grim to me. I was feeling depressed, had anxiety and brain fog and a lot of headache. Felt really tired too. A lot of health issues to struggle with. I had been sick for around 4 years, made it very difficult to study, to see friends, to see family, to live the life that I wanted. Things started to go wrong slowly when I was around 20. Yeah, also had pain different parts in my body, and I hadn't really gotten any diagnosis from the doctors or so, but the only thing I had got that I went on was SIBO diagnosis, but I hadn't really found a good way to work with it, so hadn't really seen some progressions back then, half a year ago.
So when we first met, what were you doing?
I had just started something called medical medium in order to try and heal my digestion and my and get better. I had started with it for 1 month or something, so not that long.
Right, okay.
But that was the main thing that I was doing.
So how did you know that you needed some help with your emotions and how you were feeling?
I saw your videos on YouTube, and they instantly clicked with me, and yeah, a part of me kind of knew just from seeing that okay, I need to do some of this. This is me. This is what I'm dealing with. And there was still a big part of me, actually a bigger part, that had a voice that says, no, don't do it. Just keep on doing the diets and the supplements. That little voice that said, oh no, this is what you need to do. That one just felt more true and more longing. So I went with that. And yeah, I knew, because I had been shut off from feeling my emotions and from thinking that I needed to look at that mental side of myself for so long. So I kind of knew, okay, I have been shut off for so long, so that's why I need to do it.
Well, what was it like when you actually had to face your emotions and actually start to heal them and go into childhood stuff like we did together and all of that stuff? I mean, what was that experience like?
Yeah, that was a real roller coaster. I didn't believe it in the beginning that I had so many things I needed to work on and go through and release.
Oh, yes, I remember that. We had to have a chat about that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, exactly. So yeah, I had to slowly realize that and just take it all in, because of course it was there. And when we started working together, it pretty quickly came up that okay, yeah, there are some things here that would be very good for me to work on. Well, it felt frightening for me to do it, because I had suppressed it for so long. You made me feel really brave. So the little voice that knew I had to do this just grew bigger and bigger. And I was at a place where for 4 to 5 years I hadn't had any real success in recovery. It has just been a little bit up and down with my energy, but mostly it has just been the same. So I was at a place where something new needed to happen, and I had an instinct that this was it.
What happened after you tried it? I mean, we did a number of sessions together. When did you know, actually, I really need to go all in on this?
I mean, already session 3, maybe, I could really feel something happening in my body. And when I felt that connection, that the mind and body was so related and intertwined. And I remember the first time where I got relaxation from the work we did, in my body, just my whole body beginning to relax, and I would feel calm and feel at peace. That was really where I felt, okay, this is powerful stuff. I need to continue to do this.
Yeah, because you'd had a lot of anxiety, hadn't you, and a lot of depression. So it was like releasing a bit of a valve.
No, exactly. And just realizing in your body that you could release these things. Yeah.
So what types of emotions did you feel that you become stuck in?
Very stuck in loneliness at the time because of my condition. I had isolated myself so much from friends, from family, even from my girlfriend. So that was one of the first emotions that came up.
That's a great point, because generally you don't know what your emotions are because you're either suppressing them or you're in them.
Right.
And that's your reality. So
Yeah.
you're not going to know particularly that you're angry unless you're exploding with anger. I remember when we first started to work together that we started quite surface, and it was, I think by the sort of second session, I said to you, Simon, there's going to be some events, there's going to be some childhood experiences that are having an impact on how you see the world and your experience of the chronic illness. How did you feel about that at the time?
I didn't want to believe that there was anything to look at. Yeah, I tried to be open. I think that's very important. When we started to work on that was when things really started to change, I think, for me actually. And the headache started becoming less, and the pain overall in my body became less.
Yeah, and that's amazing, isn't it? Because sometimes things that we don't even remember, that we don't think are important, can have that impact on us through the nervous system.
Yeah, as we progressed, it was so exciting to see more and more stuff come up when you went into it. Because I've always thought that I had a bad memory, or because I couldn't remember so much from my childhood, and always struggled with that. So for me, that was just like an aha experience that, okay, it's it's still there. My body still remembers. We just have to go through it.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Your body does remember, even if when your mind doesn't. So you've just finished Power to Heal, which is the group program that I run in very small groups. And actually, we've got another group kicking off on the 27th of May. What was that like, actually doing emotional work as part of a group and sharing, I guess, intimate feelings about your health and your recovery and all of those things?
Yeah, well, it was super good for me, really, so good. Because as I was dealing with loneliness too, then of course you need to get out of that, and you need to talk to people, and the group we had was amazing. It was a lot of similar situations, but also different ages, and you could really see that, okay, it's not just me who has these problems. It could be anyone. I mean, when we started to work together, it was really interesting to see how somebody else could explain an emotion you felt, even better than you could yourself. So you really helped each other out in the release work we did.
Yeah, and that's the thing that you see, actually. You become healers for each other as well.
Exactly. The thing about meeting in a group one time a week, and having that so stable in your life. I think when you're dealing with fatigue and similar situations, you need that push to be able to move on. Yeah, to work on it. So for me, that was really good.
You said that Power to Heal was kind of fundamental and pushed you that little bit forward. So what were your favorite parts?
There were some exercises where we all had to chip in on different experiences and, you know, thoughts that could go on loop and all that kind of stuff, where it even became pretty funny in the end, because you could see, yeah, okay, I'm not alone with this, and everybody has these sides to themselves, and you know, you made it light work, even though it could be pretty heavy sometimes. So that was really a new way for me to look at all this work. You know, it doesn't have to be super hard and tough to go through. You could also have a good time doing it.
Yeah, and that is the point, isn't it? A lot of people think that this type of healing work is like therapy, but actually there is always laughter and fun, because we get to release from our bodies and also see the absurdity of the way that the human mind can work at times. And it does really throw us in some loops, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
One of the things that really stood out for me when we were working together was just how much pressure you felt under, and that was really the source of a lot of the anxiety. You know, what sorts of mindsets were you stuck in, and what did you believe about healing, about yourself?
As you said, I was really stuck in a mindset where I didn't listen to how I felt at all, you know, in my body. So I was stuck in just no matter what I felt, I had to push through, and I had to do more. And every day, you know, every day would look like, even though I was so tired and didn't really want to do that much, I just, you know, I had to do it anyways, you know. That was my mindset. And you, yeah, couldn't show weakness. You had to just continue. So that was some of the things that I had learned to do through my life.
And also, there were some beliefs, weren't there, around healing, around your body? You know, what was the big thing that changed?
I was stuck after these 4 years in a place where I thought I had to do things perfectly to heal. So, you know, the reason I hadn't healed was because I hadn't done it perfectly. Then I was stuck in these you know, mindset of perfectionism. So that was a big thing that has changed for me now, that I don't need to do it perfectly to heal.
And that must have taken a huge amount of pressure off you.
Really has.
Not be because that's the thing with perfectionism. No one can do anything perfectly because perfection doesn't exist. But if you're in that pressure of feeling like you have to, that's where we get into that dark place, that pressure spiral, which causes us an inordinate amount of stress. So when you're able to get out of that, like you have, then just the relaxation that comes and the healing that's enabled just through letting go of the need to be perfect in a situation where we can never be perfect, it's quite amazing what can change. We finished Power to Heal nearly a month ago. And what's changed in your health now? You know, where are you at compared to where we started, which was 6 months ago?
I mean, a lot of my old health issues are very minimal now. I mean, when we met, I had a lot of headache, as I told. That's nearly all gone now. It doesn't really bother me anymore.
And that's only taken a few months, because I remember that was still there 3 months ago.
Yeah, no, exactly. So a lot of things that have happened after Power to Heal, actually, and the ball just keeps rolling even after we finished, which is amazing to see and feel, and just trust your body that it keeps on doing what it's supposed to. So I really think I'm at the sweet spot right now, you know, where I can just accept my situation, and my energy is a lot more stable, so I'm able to do more of the things I want in life. And just, yeah, I mean, it's amazing to be able to hang around with friends again, and just, yeah, do something with my girlfriend, have fun. That really gives me so much joy and energy also on top of it. So that helps me heal even more. And yeah, my digestion is like 80% better than it was before. And the fun thing about that is that I don't even eat so strictly anymore. I don't eat medical medium lifestyle anymore. I eat more stuff, more balanced, and sometimes I even go off my diet for a few days if I'm at friends or traveling and stuff, and my health is still getting better. So for me, that's that shift from focusing fully on just diet and supplements to focusing on how I feel, how my body feels, what's going on inside me, all my emotions, that kind of stuff. Taking care of that has been so much more successful. And you get so many other things like on top of it. It's not just your health. It's also, I mean, spiritually for yourself in life. You get a new sense of direction. Everything is connected, so it's not just, okay, now my digestion is better and I'm still depressed. It's more it goes together. So I'm a lot happier also, definitely a lot happier, more joy. Yeah.
Yeah, and it changes. I mean, this is what I always tell people. This work is not just about health. This is about your life. It's about redesigning your life. It's about finding a new way to live, because the way that you lived before and the way that I lived before was not supportive of my body to maintain health. Getting rid of the old programming, it's resetting our beliefs. It's about being able to acknowledge our emotions and have tools to actually process them and let them go on a so that you're cleaning out the garbage on a constant basis. You're never letting it build up again to a point that it causes ill health.
Exactly. And that just really makes you feel so much more in tune with yourself. I've actually always longed for that feeling, but haven't found a way before to get closer to myself in that way. So that has really been a kind of a bonus from all this work we've done. I mean, I didn't expect that half a year ago that I would be so much more in tune with myself also. So yeah, that's amazing.
One of the things that you told me before we started recording was that you used to be hyper vigilant about your symptoms, and now you're not even thinking about them anymore. I mean, what's that like?
I think that was that ended up being a part of my problem, health problem, was this hypervigilance. Had experienced a lot of stress earlier in my life, from school, from other situations. I was at a place where I was easily stressed out, and that made me hypervigilant about every little symptom. My stomach hurt a little bit after eating something. I thought, okay, I can't eat this now, for an example, and just really made these unhealthy conclusions every day, because I was trying, of course I was doing that because I was trying to get better and avoiding everything that was bad for me. But I ended up realizing with the work we did that it was me who was, in such a stressful state all the time, that everything was bad for me. I was looking at the wrong thing, basically. So now I'm more. I definitely still have some way to go before I'm fully healed.
Yeah.
And I think of it now as a journey where you discover yourself also. So it's not just healing, it's also, growing in life. So that, I mean, that will continue. for many years. But I'm at a place now where when I get symptoms, it doesn't matter at all, because I trust my body is going forward in a good direction, and that it is healing. So yeah, I'm just like a little head. That's all right.
Let's play guitar.
Yeah, exactly. That will be gone,
Yeah.
gone again. So really at a place where I trust my body, which for me is a new feeling and an amazing feeling.
And that's the healing zone. The minute you're in that trust, you're in that surrender, you're in that peace, and you're able to not go into that spiral of fear, then you've got more space for joy, you've got more space for acceptance, you can laugh, you can start to enjoy your life. You're creating really the environment for healing. And that's kind of where you've got to, which is amazing.
I just wanted to say like how amazing it feels to have been able to do this with you for 6 months, in 6 months time, having come this far, and having done so much throughout the last 4 or 5 years that hadn't worked. That to me is just mind-blowing. So yeah.
Well, it was an honor for me to be part of your journey, and I've got to say you really did put the hours in on your own. How do you feel with the tools you've got?
I feel that they are there always now to help me. I do EFT every day in order to help my body and my system to be calm. And I really feel like, yeah, I have a friend beside me all the time that I can pull out and talk to, and who can help me if I lose my hope, or if I get anxious about meeting people or anything like that, then I can help myself in that way. So that gives me so much calm in my life and so much hope for the future.
So Simon, your health was going down very slowly over those 4 years. You had different symptoms coming up all the time. If someone was in your situation watching this now, what would you tell them?
I think when you're in that place, you feel like nothing is working. You see more and more symptoms come up. You don't understand anything, what's going on. I really feel like it's hope that you need first and foremost. And I got that from working with you, and from doing EFT, and releasing all these emotions that were in the way of me feeling hopeful about my life and my future. I would encourage everybody I know that has these issues to find somebody that they're feeling good with, and I would encourage them to try working with you, because yeah, you have been amazing with me, and been very gentle, and very understanding, and taking it at my pace, and and as we talked about before, also made it fun, which is also something that gives me hope. So I would encourage people to do that, and really just say that if I've been doing this for half a year and feel like a completely different person with my health and myself, then if I can do that, then you can do it too. It can really happen. Trust your body, trust that it can happen, and it will.
Thank you, Simon. It's that place in your life where you get to and you kind of feel a bit like a ghost.
Yeah.
Everything's faded, it's just the colors are turned down on everything.
Right, and yeah, and of course it is. I mean, it's a trauma to be chronically ill, as we've talked about too. So even though you don't, if you don't have anything emotionally you need to work on besides the trauma of have been ill, it's so worth it to work on that trauma, because you know it's so tough on yourself to be that ill for so long. And I mean, it's tough for everyone, and also just isolating yourself when you're this young is also not the way to go. So so it's so worth it to just work on the trauma itself of being ill.
Yeah, and that's what we do on Power to Heal. It is focused on the trauma of illness. And we've got another group kicking off on the 27th of May if anyone wants to join us.
Do it.
Yeah. But what I would like to say, Simon, is thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your story. I would love to see you in 6 months' time if you're interested in coming back and having a chat and just really telling people how much your life has changed, because I really believe in 6 months' time everything would have turned around for you.
Well, I'd love to do that, really. Let's say that.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
All right, thanks very much. Thank you everyone for watching, and I've put the link in the description if you want to join us on Power to Heal. We've still got a few spots left.